Hey folks, I'm Melhorn, and in this video, we're going to give frozen gizzard shad a try.
Alright guys, the plan is to try out some gizzard shad today that's been frozen. I had caught this bait a while back, had a bunch left, couldn't use it all. It's been frozen. I want to try it out today just to see how it performed. Had the opportunity to go fishing today. Didn't really have a lot of bait in my bait tank, so I said, you know what, let's go give frozen bait a chance. I don't like using it. I'm not a big fan of it. Would rather have something fresh. I also realized that we don't always have the chance to catch fresh bait. Sometimes you gotta fish with what you got, and that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna fish with what I got, just see how it performs. Should be some hungry fish, at least I think so. Now, one disadvantage we have is that I'm fishing in the middle of the day. Why? Well, because it's the only time I got to go. What I always say, same thing Richard Gene, the fishing machine, says, fish when you can, go fishing, because it's good for you. That's right, Richard Gene, I'm quoting you, pal. Love your channel, by the way.
That's just for the record. This bait was frozen about a week ago. Basically, all I did was wrap it in a paper towel, put it in a Ziploc bag, and freeze it. Didn't really do any vacuum sealing or salt brining or anything like that. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Probably didn't have enough time to really get too freezer burned or anything. Halfway fresh frozen bait is the best way to describe it. Not ideal, but good little test just to see if your frozen bait will catch fish.
I think that one's getting ready to go. Yep, there he goes. Bam! Hooked up. Been here about 7 minutes. Had one go. Popped kind of quick. It's like a nice blue. Good eater size blue. Very nice fish. I think I can get him in without poking him. Yep. Good fish. Good fish. Here you go. Folks, I'm going to be doing all chesty cam today. I do not have my other camera with me. So you're going to get to see chesty cam and my regular camera. It's a nice fish. Good look, wily blue. Starting to get some of that dark coloration to him. Looks like a female. Big old belly full of food. Get her back alive. Now the thing about this frozen bait, well, it was frozen. It's not that old. It's only been frozen a little over a week. So it's not really old stuff. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But obviously, it was good enough to fool one fish, so let's see if we can fool another one, maybe a bigger one. Like we got one going right there. Real boom. Yep, it's there. Another hookup, small fish this time. Last one wasn't a monster, but it's bigger than this one. Got him out here in a little ditch. I'm basically surrounded by 3 to 5 feet of water, and there's a creek ditch that comes through here. It's about 12 feet deep. That's what I'm anchored on. That's where these blue cats are hiding in, or at least slipping up through here in. It's a little small juvenile blue cat, and no real coloration to it. Not going to be spawning this year. It's going to be feeding and snatching up all the good food while the big ones are spawning. Maybe a couple years on that. That one came on a hooker's terminal tackle line rattle. So far, they're not averse to the frozen bait. It's just one big gizzard shad here. I'm just cutting some little pieces off of. Some little fillets, keeping it simple. I've got some smaller ones back there. Get it baited up, get it back out in the water. That's 2 fish in less than 30 minutes. Need to pay attention to where the line's at so I don't backlash it. Yeah, that never happens to us professionals. Sometimes we do this just to test out our abilities to get it straightened out for when children and amateurs and less experienced anglers are on the boat. Just have to stay proficient in untangling it, so the best way to do that is through adequate drills. You're out here by yourself. Going with I got a little bite on this one. Yep, there it is. There it is. This one came shallow. I recast it a minute ago, put some baits up, some shallow water, and into the ditch just to see what's going on in here. It's probably a channel cat. Getting bit though. It's the middle of the day. About 1 o'clock. Pretty warm. It's going to be in the 90s today. Water temperature in the 80s. Fish are biting. And they're hitting. Previously frozen bait. Spawning male. Pre-spawn male. Spawning male. Whatever you want to call him. Look who's in that jar. Good. Well, let's try that again. That actually could be a white catfish. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hold them still for too long and that's what happens. He's going back. That one came off one of the Carolina rigs on the bottom. Get another one back out there. We're going to give this spot a little bit. We're catching fish. The fish at least like the bait. That didn't work good. That never happens.
Alright folks, I parked in that first spot for about an hour, put 4 fish in the boat. Pretty decent catch rate, especially for the middle of the day and fishing with frozen bait. Decided to try another hole, I don't know, 150, 200 yards away. Just a little bend here in this old creek channel. And another same type setup, got deep water and got shallow water, got lines out in both places. Put a fish in a boat already pretty quickly, so try this for a little bit, just see what the lake gives us. Now obviously I always suggest fresh bait, and what I mean by fresh is something that's been caught within the past couple of days and kept on ice. Ideally you catch them the same day you go fishing, but that's not always possible. So if you got some, a lot of times when I get bait I may leave it on ice in the cooler for a couple of days, and it works fine. With shad, usually after about 2 days, it's about the extent of it. It'll really start to get mushy, start to take on the same consistency as bait, this fresh bait that's been frozen. So, and that's why I wanted to try this little test, was just to show you that you can catch fish on frozen bait when that's all you've got.
All right, I'm gonna show you guys how I anchor my boat. I'll try parking right about there. So what I'm gonna do, basically angle this thing upstream. What I will do is put my boat into reverse. Motor's aiming backwards. When I say backwards, it's got the boat going backwards. All right, boat's in motion out backwards. What I'll do now is come up here and toss out my front anchor. Now if you wanted extra anchoring strength, I'd say add a chain to it. I'm fishing fairly shallow, so I don't. I come up here, put the boat in the neutral. I'm just paying out some line here. Boat's barely going back, creeping back at a real slow speed, as you can see. Laying some line out. I can look on my sonar and I'm right dropping into the hole that I want to fish. Letting that line out. Might have to bump it into gear. How much line you let out depends on how deep of water you're in. I'm not that deep. Toss out that back anchor. Some people are very quiet about it. I am not. The rope's loose right now. So what I'll do is come back up here to the front, start pulling line back. This is why you lay out so much line. You always want to lay out more line and you're gonna want to pull tight. So what'll happen is, if I look in the back, it'll start to pull tight. All of a sudden, it'll start to pull straight in between those two anchor ropes. To add some extra bite to it, you can always add some chain. It's always a good idea. Boom, boom, got one hooked up here. That was on a Carolina rig on the bottom. I think it had a decent sized bait on it. I made a move, sat there for about an hour, put 4 fish in the boat, decided to try another spot. Hooked up about 7 minutes after getting here. That's typically the pattern, fishing some of this shallow water, deep hole kind of stuff. Usually if they're there, you're going to find them quick. Got a little bit of current coming through here, nothing major, just enough to get the scent spread around. Basically what I'm doing here is anchoring on the edge of a deep hole. Got shallow stuff around me, I got baits in, got some in this deep stuff. Jacked up male channel cat, got some dark coloration. He's ready to spawn, he's ready to go back in the water. Alright, getting anchored up on my third spot here. I'll try one more place, and as I throw this rod out, I just looked over my shoulder and saw this rod going off. Don't even have all the rods out. Got a fish on there. Imagine that. How fortuitous. Not a monster, but we'll take it. Came quick. I got 8 rods out when I'm fishing today. I think I got 2 Carolina rigs, the rest are Santee rigs. Not sure which rig this is. Santee rig. Nice blue. Look good enough to come in the boat. Sir. Demon Dragon style rattle. Nice big chunk of previously frozen gizzard shad. Fish back in the water. Bam. I've been sitting here for about 25 minutes. Had that one fish, that's it so far. So I'll give it a little while longer. It's late in the afternoon. It's about the heat of the day right now. So water is 81 degrees here. Pretty dingy, pretty stained. I'm in a dirty section of our reservoir here.
Usually a good place to come during the middle of the day, especially if you're trying to fish shallow next to these holes or fish the holes. See if we can pick one more off here on some of this frozen bait.
This line has gone in a strange direction, opposite of where it was cast out. Generally, this means that fish is going opposite direction. I'm not sure if he's hooked or not. Before I start reeling down and have him going in the opposite direction of the boat, let me get the rod in that direction. If he's still hooked up, I'd be shocked.
Alright guys, my GoPro died. Let's give you a shot with him right here. There he is. Nice fish. 16 pounds, came on frozen gizzard shad. Middle of the day. You can catch them on frozen bait. Good fish. Get him back alive. Alright guys, that's 7 fish in about 3 hours of fishing, all on frozen bait. It's not a bad day. Even had one in the teens. That's pretty good fishing, especially this close to the spawn. I ain't got no complaints with that. Here's some other videos I think you guys may like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And also smash the thumbs up and smash the bell symbol. That way you'll be notified when any new videos are out. Look forward to seeing you on the water.